Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Tuesday, April the 5th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. We will start this draft as we always do by giving a special thank you to all those in the subscriber community for choosing to spend a part of your day here with me today. And for those of you that are not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and help me out. It is attached to or underneath this video. It's absolutely free. And you will then have access to the most consistent high-quality MTG Limited content on YouTube. We are on the race to 100 subscribers here on the channel. At the time of this recording, I believe we have 63 or so, and we are racing toward 100, and we'd love to have you a part of the community, especially considering we are in the last couple weeks here of Neon Dynasty racing towards Streets of New Capenna, and we would love to have you on board for the new set and the set release the set review content that will be happening here on the channel. As far as this Pack 1 Pick 1 goes, let's try to improve on the last draft here on the channel with Hidetsugu Devouring Chaos. Yes, please. It kind of pigeonholes you into red, black, but you can actually splash that second ability because a 4-mana 4/4 with that first ability of a black sack a creature, scry 2 is still good enough. I mean, there's also Twisted Embrace Modern Age in this pack, but, you know, we're not going to pass a Hidetsugu Pack 1 Pick 1. It's a great card. So we're going to take it here. Ideally leaning towards black-red with this, but it doesn't have to be the kind of black-red deck that I haven't had a ton of success with here. It could be a little bit of a late-game value kind of removal-based black-red deck as well. And to follow up that first black card, we'll take Goshentai of Hidden Cruelty here over, honestly, not much. I think there's Shared Purpose and Moonsnare Specialist as the only other two cards that I'm actively excited about here. I mean, there's also Era of Enlightenment, but we started with the black card, taking another totally fine black card here with Goshentai of Hidden Cruelty. And oh man, what do we do here? There is Oni Cult Anvil, which if you have a black-red deck, this is the kind of card, this is the card that really makes it work. Hidetsugu wants us to be black-red. Patchwork Automaton works very well in black-red. Twisted Embrace is a great removal spell in any deck. I don't know exactly what to do here, and I think I'm going to land on Twisted Embrace. Reason being is because we don't have to be specifically red to use that second ability. We can splash it off of maybe a Wheeling Network Terminal or a couple of dual lands. And if this Oni Cult Anvil comes back, then we know black-red will be wide open. But I want to start black here, and that's the reason I'm going to pass up on this first Anvil. Now we see not a lot outside of a couple of decent-ish black cards and a Network Terminal. There's Unforgiving one, which I don't know how much modifying. I don't know why they gave the creature that cares about this particular modification in black, but here we are. Don't really want to put either of these two cards in much of a deck. Clawing Torment, not really. I think I'm just going to take the Network Terminal here. It is an artifact. It can help us splash this if we don't want to go specifically black-red. And I'd love to secure up at least one copy of Network Terminal. All right, so there's Shrine Steward, which can find our Twisted Embrace already, which is great. It can also find our Goshentai of Hidden Cruelty, which is also great. Unstoppable Ogre for the black-red deck. Jukai Preserver is pretty good here on pick 5, but I think we'll just take the Shrine Steward. It goes really, really well with what we already have going on. Teachings of the Kirin is not a good card, so don't get tricked by the rare green saga here in Teachings. Unfortunately, black has completely dried up, but there is an Unstoppable Ogre here, and I think that's just what I'm going to take. I don't care about either of these two cards. Reality Heist, Guardians, Thief is okay, I guess. Maybe like a blue-black shell, but I think we want to lean black-red if at all possible. Now there's Tamiyo's Completion. Don't need a second terminal, but I'm actually going to take Lethal Exploit here. And I've kind of been down on this card a little bit, but it's come up for me lately in the past week or two because in a lot of these black decks, I'm just not taking enough removal, in my opinion. I think I need to be taking more, even in this format, because, you know, sometimes I just don't have the cards to deal with cards my opponent plays. So we're going to take Lethal Exploit. Wouldn't mind playing a Papercraft Decoy, but we're just going to cut black here. Black's our best color, and I would like to stay black if at all possible. So that's what we're going to do. What is going on here? This is a little wild. Sure, whatever. Bloodfell Caves is a great way to splash Hidetsugu if we want to. Black-red is not great at getting its enchantment count up. We currently have 1, 2, which is okay for Kami, but I really do want to secure up a Bloodfell Caves here if at all possible. I don't think any of these cards are good for us. Maybe this is for April Fools here. I don't know exactly what's going on, like an April Fool's weekend kind of thing. It's kind of funny, but oh well. We'll cut red. Harmonious Emergence is probably the best card in this pack, but I'm just going to take the Kami here. Another Ogre, not awful. Could consider playing that. Another Terminal, don't think we're playing 2, but I'm not playing Crackling Emergence or any of these other cards, so I'm just going to take the Terminal here. Give one of these players less of an incentive to first pick a Containment Construct in the next pack, because that's what I would love to have access to. So looking for some Voltage Surges, looking for some Kami's Flares, some more Twisted Embraces, several Okiba Reckoner raids. Oni Cult Anvil doesn't look to have come back. I think it would have been that last pack. So someone else might be trying to get into Black-Red as well. Shattered States Era is actually pretty good with Hidetsugu. It's a 6-mana combo, but I don't know. It could be a thing. And then Guardians and a land. Let's see what we open back to here. Thundering Raiju. Interesting. So there's Thundering Raiju. There's Seismic Wave. There's Sokens and Smelter. And to a lesser extent, Exploit and Kunai. I think it's between these three, and I think it's just got to be Raiju. I mean, I would definitely play a Seismic Wave in this deck, as well as a Smelter. But, without Oni Cult Anvils already, the Smelter goes down a bit in value. So I think I'm just going to take the Raiju as just a very rawly powerful card here. Okay, so here's the red shrine. The white shrine did not make its way back around last pack. So we could take the red shrine, and I would probably only play it if we found access to the white shrine and then splashed it, because the red is probably among the worst ones. There's also another Shrine Steward and a Ninja's Kunai. But I'm going to take Goshintai of Ancient Wars here. It's a 3-mana 2/2. We need to lower our curve quite a bit too. Oh, Brilliant Restoration. Would love to, but don't think we can here at this point. So here's between Renegade, Papercraft Decoy, Bloodfell Caves. We already have one Bloodfell Caves, and I think we're leaning black-red at this point, so I don't think we need another one to try to splash this. So it's between this 2-drop and this 2-drop. Upriser Renegade. What are we? We can modify with Twisted Embrace right now, which is not great. I guess I'm going to take it. Well, I think this deck might care more about a Papercraft Decoy. It's a 2-drop artifact than an Upriser Renegade, so we're just going to take the Papercraft Decoy here. Kami's Flare. Said I was very interested in these cards. Would not mind an Ambusher in this kind of deck as well. But we want to shore up some removal here in Kami's Flare, so we're going to do that. And then we see a Smelter. I guess that's what we'll take here. I mean, what are we sacrificing, though? We have 5 artifacts. We have Decoy. We don't want to sacrifice Terminal. We don't want to sacrifice Shrine Steward. And we don't really want to sacrifice Ogres, so we need to find Oni Cult Anvils if we want the Smelter to really do its thing. But what else are we taking? I mean, Terrarium or Steelbreaker? I think I'm just going to take the Smelter here. It's also just a 2-mana 2/2, which is, like, fine. Return to Action. You are already dead. Virus Beetle will be another card I would be very, very interested in this deck. But I think we could take Return to Action here. Works well with the Death Toucher. Works well with a 4-powered attacker, or 4-powered creature. Works well with Decoy. We've got some options. So we can take Return to Action. Voltage Surge is great. Would not mind a Haven, or even an Iron Apprentice in this deck, honestly, but I think I want to lean on the side of removal. I've been playing lots of decks with not a whole lot of removal in them lately. So I'm just going to go to the other side. We're late in the format here. Let's see what removal does, right? What do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, Yeah, we've already got at least 4 removal spells. Let's get it up there. Let's get that count high. So Shrine Steward number 2 or Ironhoof Boar. I'm going to take the Boar over Shrine Steward number 2. Oh, both of these cards came back. Are you kidding me? I'm going to take Seismic Wave over the second Smelter here. Like I mentioned, this one's not actually doing a ton for us. But we'll take the Wave. And I'd love to see an Anvil or 2 in pack number 3. Modern Age came all the way back too. And Suit Up. Hot Spring. I don't think Hot Spring's worth a splash here. I doubt it. And I don't think we're playing Steelbreaker for curve consideration. So I'll put it straight into the sideboard. Holy red-black. Renegade. I'm just going to take another Caves. What's our curve looking like? A couple of early creatures and all of the early removal. Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need this because we're looking for Virus Beetles and other ways to get on the board early. Virus Beetles and Okiba Reckoner Raids is what we're really going for. So if I could craft a pack 3 here for us, I would take a Containment Construct, I would take a Virus Beetle, I would take 2 Virus Beetles, I would take 2 Okiba Reckoner Raids and 2 Oni Cult Anvils, and then just call that a day. And then we'll get on out of here. That's what we'll do. No, can't always have it the way that you want. So here we've got Soul Transfer with 4 enchantments, 6 artifacts. Yeah, seems fine to me. We're going to take that over Kumano Faces Kakazan, which is also a great card. But we don't really have the 2 drops to support Kumano here. And we're not that aggressive in this style of deck, so we're just going to take Soul Transfer. So yes, please, get on in there. Another Seismic Wave, another Papercraft Decoy, a Surge Hacker Mech. This card's been really good against me, but it's our only vehicle. So it's a 4-mana 5/5 crew 4 with Menace that deals 2 to something, basically. Don't think we need another Ancient Wars. I think I'm just going to take a Seismic Wave here. It's a good removal. 3-mana instant speed, deal 3. As long as it's a non-artifact. Yeah, we'll take another Seismic Wave. Still not quite seeing what I want to see here. March of Swirling Mist. Don't think that's for us. Don't think Silencer. Can we splash an Oath in this deck? I doubt it. Shattered States. Terrarium. Dismal Backwater. I mean, this is kind of a whiff of a pack here. Would have loved to see one of those Virus Beetles or Reckoner Raids, but I don't think we're going to find that. Terrarium does offer a +1/+1 counter on something. Does that matter? Not really. Thundering Raiju cares about that a little bit. I don't think we're playing any of these other cards, so we'll just take the Terrarium here. And miss again. Songshaper could be a pretty good pickup for us. We've got 7 artifacts. It's not actually that great. There's also Searchlight Companion. What's our curve looking like? We have a lot of 3s. I think I'm actually just going to take the Songshaper here. Because we're not really taking advantage of the Companion or really care too much about artifacts. Okay, so here we've got Voltage Surge versus Sokenzen Crucible of Defiance. And like I said, I'm just going to lean on the side of taking removal. Why not? I mean, I haven't taken a lot of removal so far in the format, and I'm just going to take it here and see what happens. Dragon Spark Reactor with 8 artifacts. Not going to happen. Chainflail Centipede could be playable. I don't think we care about any of these cards here, so... And the second to last card here before the wheel is a nothing. So of all of the things I said I wanted on my wish list for pack 3, we got 0 of them. So that's great. You'll love to see it. Yeah, none of these cards matter. I mean, we have a decent little deck here. It can do things, but as is the problem with red-black, all I got to do is play some random 5/5 and we're probably just dead. Don't think we need Terrarium. I guess both of these shrines are worth playing. Ogres, maybe. Decoy's a good wheel here. Would love to add another one of those to the deck. Shattered States era. What are we doing with that? Just the Hitotsugu? And I guess a Smelter if we steal an artifact creature? I don't think we're running either of these, though. Smelter plus Papercraft Decoy is a nice little combo. None of these are going to make the deck. Same with this. Same here. And a last pick, Peerless Samurai. So I don't actually think we need Terminal. We didn't find the construct. I doubt we need either of the Shattered States eras. We might be able to consider running 16 lands with this deck. What was our artifact enchantment? 9 and 3. Was I looking at something else when I counted soul transfer enchantments earlier? Maybe lands? I don't know what I was looking at. I thought we had more than 3 enchantments. Oh, I just got 2 Shattered States eras. That would certainly do it. I mean, 3 mana exile target creature, Planeswalker, is still fine in this deck. Ironhoof Boar and Shrine Steward can find Twisted Embrace or either of our shrines, so I think it's worth running that. And I think I would like to actually play 16 lands here. Double Centipede can help us push a little bit of damage through, like equipping it to, you know, our first striker or something like that. How many creatures do we have? 14, not bad. So if we cut a land, what are we running? I don't think we're running Kindled Fury. I don't think we're running Aki Warpaint. Maybe we could run a Shattered States era. I mean, I've never really put this card in the deck, in a deck in this format, but it kind of does things. It also adds to our enchantment count for soul transfer. Our mana's pretty good with double Bloodfell Caves. So we can go 7, so that we have 9 sources of both with 16 lands here. That seems fine. We're kind of like in between aggressive and not, which is a bit awkward. But I feel like this deck can do some things. So yeah, why don't we run it back like this? Sweet, so in order to find the gameplay version of this video, go ahead and click in the upper right hand corner for the card on your screen right now to find today's gameplay release. You can also find the link to the gameplay release in the description. You can also find it on your subscription feed if you are subscribed, and if you are not, you're going to want to do that. So you can find it on your subscription feed, and you can find both of them right there. Go ahead and head on over to the gameplay portion of today's video releases so you can see how this deck performs. Thanks so much for tuning in here, and I will see you there.